we trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, we're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, we're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, we're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, we're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, we're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. We stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, trusting in you. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, trusting in you, trusting in you. We're trusting in you, trusting in you.
Welcome back to Rocky Railway. We're on track for another incredible day. Today we're going to talk about God's Son, Jesus, and the awesome, huge, bigger than death power he has. There's a verse in the Bible that tells us that that same mighty, awesome, unbelievable power that brought Jesus back to life is with us. Wow! Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus. Our life on earth will end, but because of Jesus, we can have the power to live with him in heaven forever. I'll see you guys at the end of our VBX, okay? Have fun. Bye.
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay exchange it someday for a crown.
Hi friends, yesterday I heard that Cam was finally able to get her train up and over the mountain. I wonder how it went for her. I'm sure she's going to be gone a long time. I'll have to ask her in a little... Cam!
I made it.
You're here already? What's happened to you, Cam?
You have no idea.
Oh,
You know, usually train rides are nice and easy and smooth, but this time around, things were different.
yeah, they shouldn't be this tiring, Cam. You look exhausted.
Let me tell you what happened. So we finally got over the mountain,
Oh, good.
delivered the M&Ms.
Oh, I'm sure
Everyone
they
was so
loved it.
happy, didn't get yelled at. So we got around, or we turned the train around, and we were coming back, and then it occurred to me, maybe if we go faster, we could get back sooner.
Oh, did you miss me?
Yes, of course I did.
Okay.
So in order to make the train go faster, guess what we had to do?
What did you do?
We had to get the steam to be higher.
Oh, yes, right,
So
right.
in order to do that, we had to put coal in the furnace.
Oh, that explains the thing on face.
On my face, yeah,
Okay.
coal. Anyway, so my crew and I, we started putting coal in the furnace, and more coal in the furnace, got more steam.
Right.
Train went faster.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, this is working. We put more coal in the furnace.
Yeah.
More coal in the
Yes.
furnace. Train not going as fast as we wanted, but was going faster.
Oh.
So we put more coal, and then more coal,
Yes.
and then more coal, and then
You went faster.
no, we ran out of coal.
What? Oh, that must have been so frustrating and tiring for you.
Oh, this is not the worst part, all right?
What?
Just to make things worse, guess what? In the middle of everything, the engine stopped.
Oh, Cam.
And of course, the train came to a screeching halt, and we were miles away from here. So I had to leave my crew behind and hike it up here to get some help so that we could, well, get coal, so that we could get the train in the depot.
Oh, Cam, but you know, not everything lasts forever. Coal ends,
Yeah.
trains stop. I mean, parties end. Our grown-ups grow up and they retire. You know,
They should.
everything has an ending, Cam.
You know, Karen, I must confess, this is not the most encouraging thing you've ever told me.
Wait, Cam, you need to let me finish my story.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so when things end, we don't have to worry because Jesus' power helps us live forever. Trust Jesus. He comes and gets us so we can be forever with him in heaven.
Wow, Karen, that is the most encouraging thing you've ever told me.
See, you should have just let me end my story.
Yeah, sorry. So that's really interesting though, because I've never met anyone who lived forever.
Oh, then you need to meet my friend Jesus. I need to tell you all about him.
Yes, you need to tell me more. But you know what? I think that's something that my crew should also hear.
Oh, I'm sure
so
they
I'm
would
gonna
like
get
it.
some coal, get them, and then we're gonna come back and you can tell us all about
Oh, that'll be
our
great.
forever friend Jesus.
Oh, that will be very nice.
Okay.
Go get them. I'll be here waiting, okay, Cam?
Okay.
I'll be here waiting forever. Bye.
See you.
We'll see you in a while.
See you in a bit.
Are you ready to splash into another fantastic day at VBS? I'm Finn, a rainbow trout. I'm happiest when I'm taking a dip in a clean, bubbly mountain stream. Ah, this is the life. This stream is where I began life. This exact spot where I hatched is pretty important to me, but we'll get to that later. I spend most of my day flipping my fins, swishing my scales, and exploring this awesome river looking for food. I love to eat. Me and my fishy friends spend about 80% of our day looking for food. I use my mouth to poke around and look for good stuff to eat. And sometimes I end up getting a mouthful of weeds and sticks. Not bad. Of course, it's not as good as the bugs or the crustaceans I usually like. I'll even jump out of the water for them. God gave me something super sharp to help me find food. My eyes. They show me what to eat and what to stay away from. After being born, I might travel to a new stream far away from my home. But when it's time to lay eggs, rainbow trout always return home. My cousins, steelhead trout, travel from a freshwater stream all the way to the ocean. Even if they've lived in the ocean for a couple of years, they swim against the stream to make it back home. That takes a lot of power. Wow. Home is important to me and my fish family. Jesus knew that a forever home was important too. That's why Jesus died, to pay for all the wrong things you've ever done or will ever do. Because those sins are paid for, you can have life forever in an awesome place called heaven. But Jesus' power doesn't just cover your sins. Jesus is so powerful that he beat death forever. But it gets even better. The Bible tells us the Spirit of God, who raised Jesus from the dead, lives in you. That means a friendship with Jesus gives you the same awesome power that let him beat death. Wow! So, if you're feeling worried or sad, or things seem out of control, remember that Jesus' power is bigger than anything, and it's right there for you. Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to day 4 of VBS, where our entire experience, we've been looking at how God's power and His power and strength can help us do better and be better in this earth that we live in. Today, we want to talk about a very fantastic story that we've been following in different stages. We're going to go take a step back. Today, I am no longer Paul. I'm Pastor Nelson. I'm going to be talking today. One of the things that we remember about Jesus' story is that Jesus did a lot of great things. Near the end of his life, this is where everything kind of came to a head. I want to kind of give your attention to one of the closing sections of Jesus' life. In the book of Matthew and Mark and Luke and John, we find that near the end of his life, he sat and ate down with his disciples. And how many of you guys like to eat out there? You like to eat? Raise your hand. Can you spend a few minutes and tell me, or a few seconds, somebody yell really loud at television or at the computer screen, tell me, what do you love to eat most? Is it pizza? I hear peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Yeah, okay, I hear a lot of good things. Jesus had a Passover meal, meaning that he ate some bread and he ate some grapes and he had some wine with his disciples. And they had a great time. But this one particular time in the Passover, Jesus was telling his disciples that this was going to be his last experience with them because he was going to have to suffer and he was going to have to die. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have experienced death, but death can be something that can be very, very sad. That's when someone is there and then they're not there the next day and they don't come back. And it's something that can make people very sad. Maybe you've seen people cry when these things happen and you feel bad yourself when they start crying. That's called empathy. When you feel what someone else feels, that's called empathy. And that's good because it helps you understand that there's pain and there's sadness. That's something that people weren't meant to experience. And Jesus was telling his disciples that as he was going through this time, that they would feel bad and that he would have to die. But they would feel sad, but eventually their sadness would turn to joy. How? That's where the story gets interesting. So Jesus went through suffering and he was crucified and he was killed and he was laid in a tomb. And after 1 day, after 2 days, after 3 days, how many of you guys can count to 3? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3. Some of you older guys are like, that's easy, I can do that. But some of you younger ones, this is different. Some of you guys are learning how to count, and that's a fantastic thing. 1, 2, 3. Or say this in Spanish. 1, 2, 3. There you go, some bilingual. This is Miami, so you have some bilingual training for you. Now, there's something interesting that happened after that 3rd day. Because after that third day, there was an earthquake in front of Jesus' tomb. And all of a sudden, angels came. And all of a sudden, the stone was rolled away. And Jesus came back to life. Oh, hold on, kids. That isn't all. Because what I want you guys to understand is that today, our lesson is Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus. Now, this isn't just an idea that we have or that we just came up with. Everything that we do today in our lives points us to a future story when one day Jesus is going to come back, and all of the sadness and all of the pain and all of the bad things that have happened in this world and that continue to happen, Jesus is going to step in and he's going to take care of them for us. We do have to work and we do have to do as best we can in school and work and all around us, but we remember that at the end of everything, Jesus' power is going to resurrect those who have died and also is going to make everything right again. We're going to learn more about that tomorrow, how it happens in a practical way with Pastor Lafitte. But today, what I want you to remember is no matter where you are, if you've experienced sadness, if you've experienced what it's like for someone to die in your life, either through a family member or through someone you know, I want you guys to remember something important, that Jesus' power can raise us from the dead. And after this life is over, Jesus is going to come back and he's going to resurrect us and make all things new again. So, we're going to remember, I want you guys on the count of 3 to say, trust Jesus with me. 1, 2, 3, trust Jesus! Because no matter what happens, he's always by our side. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Come on, Rosie, we need to put your hat on. You gotta get ready for the party.
Oh, hey everyone! Welcome back! Today's a special day here at Rocky Railway because we're celebrating a very special Bible point. Can you guess what it is? That's right! Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus!
What? What, Rosie? Oh, your hat, I know. We gotta make sure it stays.
Rosie wants to know how we can live forever. Well, Rosie, I have a friend who died for all of us so that one day we could live with him forever. Do you know who my friend is? That's right, Rosie. His name is Jesus. While we're here on earth, we may experience some bad things like sickness, pain, maybe even death. I'm sure some of us may have lost maybe a relative, a friend, or a pet, or we've seen someone we love get really sick, or maybe they're just crying and we don't know why. Those things can definitely make us feel uncomfortable, sad, and even scared. But remember, Jesus paid the ultimate price for our sins so that one day we could live eternally with him. That means no more crying, no more pain, no more death, and that's reason enough to celebrate. We can celebrate Jesus with even more joy, bigger cheers, and loads of thankfulness. So, to get us in a celebratory mood, let's say our Bible point really loud. Are you ready? Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus! Yay! We want you to join in our celebration. But I think we're missing something. You can't have a party without dessert, right? So, for today's challenge, you're going to need your parents' help. Today, we want you to either bake something sweet, maybe while you're at home. Maybe you can make some cookies, some cupcakes, or even brownies. And for those who can't bake, it's okay. Maybe you can have mom or dad pick up something sweet, like I did. These donuts look delicious, don't they? But here's the catch. You can only eat one piece of dessert. That's right, just one, because the rest are for tomorrow's challenge. So today, let's celebrate Jesus' victory, because Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus! Well, it's time to get our party started. It's time to get up and move. Today, we're gonna have a dance break to one of our favorite songs. So don't be shy and show us your favorite dance moves. Remember, you've got some time. Ready? Let's hit it!
I feel it in the air right now. It's all around, I see it everywhere. It's the power. Yeah, yeah, God's power. It's the power to move any star. It's the power to heal your broken heart. It's the power. Yeah, God's power. So don't hold back, no, don't hold still. God is here and He is real. Take 4 steps to the left, to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around and move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 jumps back, but you better look back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now freeze. And everybody clap your hands. Now stop. I feel it in the air right now. It's all around, I see it everywhere. It's the power. Yeah, yeah, God's power. It's the power to move any star. It's the power to heal your broken heart. It's the power. Yeah, God's power. So don't hold back, no, don't hold still. God is here and He is real. Take 4 steps to the left, to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around and move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 jumps back, but you better look back. Let's do it all again right now. Take 4 steps to the left, to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around and move to the right. 1, 2, 3. Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 jumps back, but you better look back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now freeze. And everybody clap your hands. Now stop.
Wow, those were some cool dance moves. I'm so glad you were able to celebrate Jesus' victory with us today. Remember, Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus! Until next time.
I'm Isaac and I'm 11 years old. At home I like to, well, a lot of times I play video games. I have 2 brothers. One's older than me. He's into acting and singing. My younger brother Elijah, he's 7. My sister's name is Zoe, but she, like a normal 4-year-old toddler, will make messes all the time, paint on the walls.
Isaac also dances.
I started dancing, I think like 2 years ago. My favorite kind of dance is contemporary or lyrical. It's sort of like ballet, but it's a little more free. I always felt like when I was dancing, I wasn't really stressed about anything or worried. Sort of forget about anything else that is bothering you.
Isaac had another brother named Joel.
Joel was 2 years younger than I am. He was always really happy and joyful. When he was 1, he was diagnosed with brain cancer.
Cancer is a disease that most kids do not have or get.
He had to do some crazy thing to get rid of it, and it was gone for a year. But then it came back and they said he only had a few months to live, but then he lived 5 more years.
Sadly, Isaac's little brother Joel died.
One of the things I remember a lot about him is he always had that like little giggle. He always loved knocking cup towers down. So he'd make one that was like maybe double the size of him, and he'd run into it and it would come down and he'd laugh so hard. A lot of times we'd take him to this farm. It was like a petting zoo in some places, and you could feed the animals. I have this one memory of Joel. He was feeding the goats, so we give him the bag to reach in and give to the goats, but then he just gives the bag to the goats, and the goat devours the whole thing. Joel always loved animals. One time he got to ride a pony and he was so happy. He loved it.
Isaac misses his brother Joel. Joel loved Jesus and believed in him too.
A lot of times I feel sort of like I miss him and pretty sad, but I'm glad that he's in heaven and he can do so many things that I can't even do right now. Dancing always like cheers me up because it makes me think about God and how he's with Joel and he is amazing.
Isaac knows that because of Jesus, he will be able to see his brother again in heaven.
I sort of look forward to hearing his giggle, and I look forward to running up to him and giving him a grand old hug.
In the Bible, the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 11 says, "The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you."
I feel like that verse makes me feel like sort of hopeful that we can share the power of God and the Holy Spirit with the whole world, and that one day we can all know Jesus and God and praise and worship together. Even if we die, we still get to live forever in heaven with God, and Jesus' power is letting you live forever.
Jesus' power lets us live forever.
Welcome back to Imagination Station. I'm so glad you guys are back. It's day 4, and the point for today is Jesus' power lets us live forever.
Trust Jesus!
Now, just like every other day, I need you to go get a couple of things from your house and from the bag. I need you to find your perpetual paper. It's this thing right here. This is your perpetual paper. I'll give you 2 minutes to gather everything. Ready? Go! guys, today Pastor told us that unfortunately we have to go through some hard times in life. Those times can be very, very scary. Take some time and share with your parents some of those hard times. It could be that you saw your parents crying and you didn't know why they were crying or why they were sad. That's a scary thing for a child. Share that with your parents. Or sometimes parents get scared too. I'm a little scared sometimes because I haven't had a job for about 3 months. So every parent has to provide for their family, right? I could get a little scared too. But remember, Jesus' power will help us every time we're in those scary situations. It's kind of like Jesus said that when he finally returns, right? One day, all those scary things will go away. He said that sadness will end. He also said that sickness will end. Bullying will end. Crying will end. Death will end. Because of Jesus, our life will have no more tears. There will be joy and light and love and Jesus. Our joy will be bottomless and endless. Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus. The word perpetual means never ending. Now, take out your perpetual paper and we're going to do something together. First thing is I want you to open up to the Ramsey picture. Ramsey, the big horned sheep. Okay, do you have your perpetual paper open to the Ramsey picture? Remember day 1, Jesus' power helps us do hard things. I want you to draw something hard that Jesus helped you do. I'm going to draw here, making a friend, right? I'm not a great artist, but I'm drawing here, just speaking to someone else. And I'm happy and the person's happy, and we can be friendly with each other. All right? Jesus can help us do hard things.
Trust Jesus!
Now we're going to flip our perpetual paper till we see Ava, the red-tailed hawk. And we're going to write or draw a note to thank Jesus for giving you hope. I'm going to say thank you for providing for my family. You have another section here. Maybe your parents can write something that they're thankful for and something that gives them hope. Okay, we're going to flip our perpetual paper. And we're going to see Sierra the mountain lion. Jesus' power helps us be bold. Trust Jesus. Tell about a time you were bold. Wow. Share that section with your parents. And finally, when we do the final flip, we see Finn. And that one says, Jesus' power lets us live forever. You know what? Jesus told us what heaven would be like. Let me describe it for you. Our Bible says the wall was made of jasper and the city was pure gold, as clear as glass. The 12 gates were made of pearls, and each gate from a single pearl. And the main street was pure gold, as clear as glass. Doesn't that sound amazing? Now, on Finn's page, I want you to draw what you think heaven will be like. So I'm going to draw a beautiful city, with great walls. Remember, I'm not an artist, but you sure are. And a big sea of gold. And this will be us walking on the road to heaven. Wow. That's going to be a beautiful sight to watch us walking into the gates of heaven. Remember, our Bible verse for today is, "The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you." Romans chapter 8, verse 11. Jesus' power lets us live forever.
Trust Jesus!
It's time to wrap up our trip today. But remember, take pictures of all the things you're doing at home and post them on our Miami Temple social media pages. Use the hashtag MTVBX. You can also email me your pictures to mtchildman@gmail.com. At the end of the week, we're going to put all those pictures together and have a beautiful spotlight presentation for you guys. We want to show all the great things that you guys have been doing during this time. We'll be back on track for more adventures tomorrow. Remember, we've been exploring trips and trains with tons of fun on Rocky Railway. All train journeys have a beginning and an end. Passengers get on the train, the conductor shouts, "All aboard!"
All aboard! All aboard!
And their journey begins. Trains make stops along the way so passengers can get on or get off, and they can do fun things. But at the end of the whole train track, there's a buffer. It's kind of like the big X. It's placed at the end to indicate that that's it. That's the end of the line. This means the train's journey has come to an end. Our life journey is a lot like the train journey. Eventually we'll slow down a bit, and after all these wonderful moments, our lives and every life journey ends. But remember, Jesus died on the cross for you and me. Jesus' power over death lets us live forever. Trust Jesus. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my home, come what may. Where I go with you. Where I go with you. There's a spirit I cannot contain. There's a spirit I cannot contain. The same power that raised Jesus up from the grave, the same spirit I cannot contain. Everywhere I go on this road, high and low, where I go with you. So I won't be afraid, this my home, come what may. Where I go with you. Fire in my soul, your kingdom is my home, and I don't want